Metal Gear Solid. It's a franchise that has changed the world, especially in the way game designers look at their own creations. I mean, everyone who had a PS1, a PS2, or a PS3 would have undoubtedly played at least one of these games. You see, Metal Gear Solid is a game that has jumped from strength to strength in its play mechanics, design, and crazy in-depth storytelling method. I will admit, I am slightly biased in this review. After all, Metal Gear Solid is a series I have always followed and loved, not just on the level of player, but from a technical standpoint also. Everyone remembers the Psycho Mantis fight on the original Metal Gear Solid. The idea that you had to remove your controller and plug it into the second control port in order to mug off Psycho Mantis blew my mind. Also, the crazy conversations you would have during codec sequences, talking about movies and even telling you've been playing too much. All of this was the idea of one man.
Hideo Kojima.
Game designer, film nerd, and quite frankly,
In my books at least.
genius. So recently it has come to light that Mr. Kojima has never always been met with open arms. Extraordinarily, it wasn't even the audience giving him a bit of a hard time. Shit, it wasn't even critics. You see, Kojima himself was subjugated to a bit of a fight with the big boys, the suits, the man, if you will. It was his own publisher, Konami. Within the last year or so, this battle has become a popular talking point among fans, not just of the series. The clash between Kojima and Konami has been spoken about, wrote about, blogged about, and probably even fucking sung about in bard tales. Much like a crazy neighbor who has been arguing with his psycho wife since she moved in 10 years ago, the Kojima-Konami love tiff has been going on a lot longer than just during the development of the Phantom Pain. That was just when the real crazy stuff started happening. What? Kojima? Yeah, that guy? Ha! He fucking quit!
Sir?
What?
Yeah.
Phantom Pain did awesome. Yeah. Oh, you meant Metal Gear Kojima. Nah, he just went on holiday. Right? Imagine this. The year is 1987. Kojima has just made a game about some fucking penguin and loving life. The 10 people who bought an MSX in Japan think he's a goddamn god. This is the best penguin game ever! They're all shouting. He can't believe his luck. Then along comes some guy in a suit and dumps a bunch of files on his desk.
Think you're good? Then sort this shit out.
He reads through the files. Huh? A military shooter-style action game? This sounds pretty good. I could do this. Okay. Yep. Oh, well, that's an issue. Okay. Too many objects, you say. The MSX2 is not powerful enough. We can't use that kind of design. What? I see. Let me think about this tonight, and we can sort these issues out tomorrow. That night, little Kojima went home. He was sure this game had potential, but what could he do? The MSX2 just wasn't powerful enough to handle a military shooter that had so many objects on the screen at once, and the gameplay was lacking in action because of it. But then the TV clicks, and on the screen in front of him, he saw the answer. The next day, little Kojima walks into the office, chest puffed out and expensive glasses on face. Crash! The double doors fly open. Some even say off the walls. Listen up. This game is now a stealth game. Everyone goes fucking nuts. They lift Kojima up into the air and hail him as the Grandmaster Designer he truly is. the day calms down, and everyone starts to come back to their senses, and asks the grand designer, "Oh Kojima, this game we shall make, but what shall it be called?" It will be given a name that will go down in history, a name that everyone will love. Its name will be Intruder. Now get me my fucking Lego. Genuinely, the game was called Intruder. Makes sense. Makes sense. Later on in the process, they then changed the name to Metal Gear, and that's about it. I mean, admittedly, I embellished the story just a little bit, but it's about right. That's essentially what happened. And this game was fucking awesome. The whole design aspect was revolutionary. The mechanics were truly new at that time. Being able to avoid cameras, using a box to trick enemies into believing you're a piece of cargo, alert phases, using cigarettes to see laser lines, hidden walls you had to blow up, using plastic explosives, having separate car keys in order to unlock doors. It was all here. This was where it all started. Metal Gear on MSX2 was a truly innovative and beautiful game. Beautiful in the metaphorical sense, not aesthetically. It was ugly as shit. Hello, Konami Development Tokyo Division.
Hello, this is Konami headquarters.
Hello, what can we do for you?
Yeah, actually, we have a project for you and your team.
Fantastic. We'll be happy to take it. What's the project?
We just need you to port a recent release to the NES.
NES? Okay, sure, yeah. What's the game?
It's Metal Gear from the MSX2. We can send you the source code right away. We just need to get it done.
Yeah, sure. That sounds
Pretty good.
Wait, that's Kojima's recent game, right? I mean, don't get me wrong. We're happy to get it done, but I can't imagine you'd want anybody else working on the project.
Oh, God.
Designer God and all that jazz. I mean, did you see the double doors? Some even say they were off the walls.
Yeah, no, I can't really confirm that myself, but I did hear some strong sources saying that it... Look, anyway, don't worry about Kojima, okay? Like, can you get the work done or not?
Sure, yeah. No, don't get me wrong.
Okay.
We really appreciate the fact that, the work. But, should we at least, ask him something?
No, wait. Whatever you do, just please don't contact him. Okay, just get the work done, okay? We're ready to go. We just need you to do it, please.
Okay. It's a little awkward. I know it's not going to be that difficult of a project. The game's already out. We could play it, replicate it, and, get it done as soon as possible. About 6 to 7 months at tops.
Look, okay, this is going to be the last thing I say, and I'm going to just hang up, okay? Here's what we need you to do. Number 1, don't contact Kojima or his team. Just please, okay? Just don't do it. Number 2, make the game as different as possible. Number 3, you have 3 months. Bye.
What? Yep, that's right. They only had 3 months to complete the project. According to one of the programmers, not only did they have a ridiculously short time to be able to complete the project, but they also had to make it as different as possible to the original. And to top it off, this entire project was started without the consent or any communication with Kojima or the original team. Why? Where's the sense behind this? I mean, would it at least hurt to be able to make the game replicate the original? So here it is, Metal Gear on the original Famicom. I managed to pick my copy up on the Japanese Amazon for around 400 yen or so. Well, let's just jump straight to it. Typical. It's all in Japanese. Well, no worries, because with the power of techno magic and a little bit of luck, we can change this back into regular. Okay. Straight away, one thing that you instantly notice is you press start and there's a small intro section showing you jumping out of an aircraft along with 3 others. What's so bad about that? Well, you never see them ever again. Honestly, they're never mentioned ever again. They're not referenced here at the beginning of the game or later on in the game. Where'd they even go? Is this like a local bus stop or something and they just so happen to be natives who lived nearby? So on to the game. Quick check of the controls. Yep, everything does exactly what you think it would do. Directional pad moves you, B button punches, A button does... nothing. Huh. Well, it's got to do something. Let's just check the manual, see what's going on. Oh, there we go. A button shoots weapons once you have one. Whoa, 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 whoa. 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 What? The main antagonist's name is Colonel Vermin Katafi? What kind of name is that? Lived in Mongolia with his 27 sisters? What the fuck? So no mention of him here either. Why even do that? Surely they played the game enough times to be able to be like, hang on a minute, who are they? Does anybody else know? Because I don't. Colonel Vermin Katafi's elite scum squad? Oh yeah. Everybody's heard of the CVCESS. What the fuck? This guy's army consists of an electrician, Survey Steve, a narcoleptic, and... scorpions? But not just any kind of scorpions, no. Trained killer scorpions, yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and say that maybe this guy wasn't as big time as he thought he was, yeah? Anyway, back to the game at hand. Overall, the visuals are... meh. They're not bad, but they're most certainly not anything to rave about. One thing about the colours, though. There's too much green! Every screen has at least one shade of green, excluding Snake. One thing that's definitely worth mentioning is the soundtrack. It's actually really good, and once you're in an alert state, the music becomes even more interesting. It's very different from the MSX2 version. Both consoles seem to portray very different situations. The NES has a very...
oh, it's fucking on!
Whereas the MSX2 is more of a...
oh shit!
They see me. Oh, nice. The first enemy. He doesn't even know what's gonna hit him. I'm gonna get all up in this guy's face and just show him what's what.
What?
Great, first enemy in the game, and it's Stan the Sleepy. I feel asleep? Well, it was a good job you told me that. There's absolutely no way I would have known that you was asleep. I mean, when somebody else is asleep, I wish they'd let me know. Is this really necessary? Did the developers feel like so proud that they made somebody fall asleep in the game that they wanted to show it off or something? But this isn't the first what the fuck moment in the dialogue. This game is full of bullshit like that. Here's an example right here. Okay. Attempt to contact our missing grey fox. Grey fox is a person, not an animal. Steal ammunition from enemy guards.
No, you don't!
You see, this was a mechanic from the MSX2, and it never even got carried over to this version. A handgun. That is a Beretta M92F. You need to know how to use it. I need to know how to use it? So you're telling me you sent a man on an infiltration mission into a hidden base filled with armed soldiers, and you don't even think that he knows how to use a gun? I don't think you know how to delegate, Mr. Big Boss. Big Boss here. I forget to tell you something.
What the fuck?
Plastic explosive? You can use that any way you like. Oh, and this one really irritates me. There are window barriers installed on the rooftop. Search for a bomb blast suit. Am I missing something? What kind of fucked up logic is that? Oh shit, it's pretty windy outside. Better take my bomb blast suit. Enemy uniforms. Are they cute little sailor suits? I think that says more about you than you gave that on. Indeed. And all this is just from Big Boss. There's a whole group of people in this game with bullshit dialogue. Hello, this is Diane, your resistance fighter. Hi there, everybody. This is Diane again. Hi, folk. This is Diane. Does she think she's some kind of resistance blogger? I'm not joking. The conversations with her in particular really aggravate me. There's no seriousness in the situation. These were the conversations you'd have when you were stuck on a boss. Some fucker giving you a hard time? Give Diane a call. She's sure to help. Hi there, this is Diane. That guy gird in the door there. What the fuck? It honestly just gets to a point where it just becomes comical. Now, it seems pretty obvious that this is localizations done by Japanese people who knew very little English. But you see, the thing is, if you could give languages an opposite, Japanese would most certainly be the opposite to English. You see, back in the 80s, English studies in Japan were very sparse and expensive. Therefore, anybody who knew English on a professional level charged extortionate amounts for their time. So even if a Japanese person knew a tiny bit of English, they could have gotten work by charging a fraction of what a professional translator would charge. And nobody would know how bad a job they did because nobody could read it. This happened a lot in video games, and it's most likely why this game had such a bad translation job. Another mechanic I have to take issue with is the respawns. Now, I don't really have a problem with enemies respawning in this game. I mean, they have to. It's not really much of a challenge if everything you kill is dead. No. What I have an issue with is where they respawn. I don't know why, but it really seems like it was a purposely thought thing to place enemies right in your path as you leave a room. Again, this is not a major block in the process, since you could just move back to the previous screen and take a different route. But this is only an option a minority of the time. The big concern, however, is when you are put in a situation such as leaving a room or the truck at the beginning, as you can't change where you're going to exit. And this happens so often in the game. Even at the start, you're greeted with this kind of bullshit. A completely ridiculous setup where you go inside a vehicle to pick up an item. Yeah, nothing wrong with that whatsoever. That's what they want you to do. Then you leave and are instantly met with a gun in your face. How is this even fair? It's just a way to make the game seem more difficult than what it actually is. In some sections, the actual spawn points of the enemies changes depending on what exit you take in a certain room. So why wasn't this done here? You literally haven't even got to the main building yet, and already the game is fucking you hard. Later on, you get the legendary box item, which can help you in a situation, but even that comes with its own set of complications. And by this point, you've already got a little bit of extra health and the gun, so it makes the box absolutely pointless. Why not put the box at the beginning of the game? Or better still, move the spawn points. It's honestly not that difficult. But you see, there's one obstacle in this game, one heinous crime of game design, which tops everything that could ever be thrown at you in this. It's the invisible floor trap. Even in the later games, the pits are still being used. However, you can fucking see those, even hear them. Metal Gear Solid done it perfectly. Click, open. Metal Gear, however, man, it's relentless. You have such a small time window to be able to react, it's insane. Walk in, open dead. It's really violent. Fuck no Bullet Bob or Tired Tom, just have a base filled with these fuckers. The way they are introduced to you as a player makes you feel so punished. You've just made it into the first building and you finally feel like you're making progress. Great. Fantastic. However, this dick opens up and swallows you. And where does it send you once you die? You guessed it! The beginning of the game. By the way, worst scenario involving these pits is when you're making your way in between two of the buildings in order to find a particular person. It's an underground maze, just filled with these holes. Okay, so just need to get... Okay, Diane. Just get over it. Diane. Jesus, another one again. Diane. Why am I here? Diane. Oh, another fucking hole. This Okay, we did it. It's just so difficult. Even the hit detection is slightly out, meaning there's no give when you want to try and edge your way across. Couple that with the point that these pits show absolutely no indication of where they are. That's right. The only way to figure out where one of these pits is going to show is to literally edge your way around the room until you find them. You then exit the room and re-enter whilst remembering exactly where the pit was. But be careful, because there will be more pits right in front of you. Absolutely pointless and difficult just for the sake of being difficult. Okay, so leading up to this point, I think we've come to the conclusion really that this game is shit. But you see, it actually is quite enjoyable. Don't forget that the team that was tasked with making this game was actually only supposed to do it within 3 months. and they were told to make it as different as possible. Given those grounds, I would say that this is actually a pretty well built game. So let's focus on some positives. Well, there's actually one mechanic in this version that wasn't on the original MSX2 version. The ability to walk under cameras. They actually added that in. Probably. Or, you know, something happened and they didn't patch it out or something, I don't know. Anyway. In the MSX2 version, you wasn't even allowed to stand still underneath them. You were always caught. One mechanic in particular that was actually in the original version and this version, but I do feel it deserves a mention. When you first start the game, you'll notice your health is quite low, and there's a section on the bottom named Rank. This is your level up system. The way you increase your rank is to find hostages placed in rooms around the base. You then rescue these folk, and once you rescue a certain amount, you rank up. This allows you to collect more ammunition and also gives you more health. A very nice, unique leveling method. It is actually possible as well to kill these hostages if doing that is your thing. However, you do lose rank, so there is a kind of punishment system going on. Whether or not that was intended or not is beyond me. A nice little trinket in there for anybody who likes killing hostages. The original MSX2 version also introduced the fabled Hind D helicopter boss. This is the only attack helicopter I know of, and it's just because of the Metal Gear games. It always made me chuckle seeing it in the newer version of the game. The Hind D is probably just as important in the Metal Gear games as someone named Snake. Maybe. So is this legendary boss in the NES version? No. No, it's not. They replaced the helicopter with two guys on what seems to be a pair of segways, or maybe those fucking hoverboard things, whatever the fuck they are. Also, these guys are ridiculously easy. As a matter of fact, all the bosses in this game are easy. And they have the best names ever. Again, Colonel Vatch Creampuff has really got to sort out his recruitment office. Let's go through them all. Why not? It's easy enough. Welcome to the NES Metal Gear boss list. We'll be going through these bosses in chronological order as you see them within the game. So let's get this show on the road. Number 1.
Shoot Gunner.
A simple boss with a back and forth pattern. You'll be hearing a lot of that. He has a shotgun, which has a spray shot, that as long as you're always moving will never hit you. Can be beaten by punching his door and grabbing your stuff. Oh god. And firing 4 rockets into his stupid undecipherable face.
Number 2. Machine Gun Kid.
I assume it's meant to be Billy the Kid plus a machine gun. Anyway, he shoots a machine gun down the screen and has a back and forth pattern. Easily beaten by being faster than a machine gun.
Number 3. Twin Shot.
AKA Hover Harry and Segway Sasha, has a unique movement pattern. And when I say unique, I mean he stands completely still and hopes the player isn't a complete dick. Attacks you by shooting 3 bullets in the most predictable pattern ever. Can be easily beaten by running across the screen and shooting them with a grenade launcher, until they just give up and accept their fate.
Number 4. Tank.
What is a tank? Shoots stuff and has a move back and forth pattern. But with a twist! Up and down this time. What an innovation! Can be beaten by being a snaky bastard and laying down mines then running behind a wall.
Number 5. Bulldozer.
And just be a tank, fuck you, go build a house. Kill it with grenades.
Number 6. Arnold's.
Arnold, the invincible tank, human, American football player that just runs into you. Times 2! You know what that means. It's the move back and forth pattern. Oh my god. Demented. Can be beaten by being classy and talking to a snob. AKA getting the rocket launcher. Rocket launchers. Everybody's only weakness.
Number 7.
Coward Dog.
Some Aussie prick with a boomerang. Can be beaten by knowing that he can't even turn his head.
Number 8.
Fire Trooper.
Coward Duck's idiot brother who also can't look sideways.
Number 9.
Supercomputer.
4 regular soldiers that just take one shot to die, and then planting 16 explosives on the computer. I don't fucking know.
And the final boss on Metal Gear. The big bad son of a bitch that this game has led up to. The head honcho of this entire scenario. Get prepared. Get pumped. Be spoiler warned and have that baby now if you're pregnant because the excitement may kill you. It's number 10.
Big Boss.
He moves up and down. He shoots again. You kill him with rockets. And that's that. That's Metal Gear on the NES plus Famicom. So is this as bad as what everybody seems to think? Well, one thing's for certain, it's nowhere near as strong as its MSX twin. However, I wouldn't actually say it's an awful game. Again, given the specific situation that the developers got put in, I would actually say it's a pretty decent game. Give it a go and see what you think. Is there something I'm missing? Something else? Nah. What is it? It's got to be something else. I'm sure that I missed out on something. Oh, that's right. There's no Metal Gear.
What the fuck is going on with that? The game is called Metal Gear. The one thing they decided to remove was the fucking main enemy. What's even more embarrassing is the further the franchise develops, the worse this fact becomes. At first you could only compare it to the original, but now there's been like fucking 100 variants of Metal Gear, making this seem even more ridiculous. Apparently the NES couldn't handle the complicated left, right leg explosion sequence on the Metal Gear like in the MSX2 version. But why did they take the entire thing out? Why not add a couple more obstacles in the room and just ask the player to do the same thing as the supercomputer? I don't know. Anything would have been better than a computer with a 50-foot screen on it. Jesus Christ. When a series of enemies is just charging towards you, my friend, towards you.